Hello, everyone. Welcome to my live stream. I have a new office set up, so bear with me. I'm still getting the lay of the land here. So, excuse my bed in the background. I call it my therapy bed, and behind me, I have my little meditation corner, so you can see a little bit more around the room. Yeah, welcome. I haven't done a live actually since I left for I'm just gonna fix this because it's driving me crazy. Sorry, guys. There we go. That's a little bit better. Sorry, my details are getting to me today. Um, yeah, I just wanted to catch up. I just wanted to be really vulnerable and honest with you guys and let you know where I'm at, energy wise. And we're going to talk about what's going on in the sky right now. And it'll maybe give us a bit of an idea, maybe if you're feeling the same way as me, what's going on collectively in the sky that's sort of making our energies maybe feel a little bit not difficult, but it's intense right now. It's intense. Um, and I'm also going to do some card pulls. And today we're going to do it a little bit differently. We're going to relay, and I'm not going to do a specific spread. I just want to know from the cards what the energies or what our guides want us to know. And I'm going to relate each card to a crystal. So we'll get into that later, but I'll start with the just my energy update. And I want to be honest. I don't want to tell people I'm doing great when I'm not, or I'm doing horrible when I'm doing okay. There's so many shades of gray. So I just feel right now the energy is really intense. I have a lot of things coming up for me, which isn't bad. I feel like when I'm in a safe place emotionally or a safer place emotionally, I can allow for certain emotions to come up because I feel safe handling them. And that's all subconsciously. Been feeling some uncomfortable feelings, some anger. Um, I know that this is actually a Vanderpump Rules reference, but Stassi calls her sort of her dark side, her dark passenger, and how it takes her over. She's a Scorpio moon like me, and I feel like that's very much a part of me. I have this dark passenger, and it's it's not easy sometimes to deal with. So yeah, just give me 1 second. Sorry, guys. It's gonna be one of those days. I'm so sorry. Just someone's on their way here. I'm just letting them know I'm doing the live right now. One moment. All right. Sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm distracted today. It's one of those days, but that's okay. I'm here. I'm with you. All is good. Um, so if you just give me a moment, I'm going to close my door. Here we go. You're seeing a lot of action with me today. That's always fun. um, I've been feeling a lot of uncomfortable feelings, also a lot of signs from the universe. Numerology is coming to me constantly right now. Um, and I'm seeing a lot of threes. I feel like it's showing me that I'm in alignment. And there's a lot of good things happening for me right now. So I'll announce to you guys that I started a new job. It's working with children, working on youth initiatives in Canada to support and empower younger children. That's mainly what my job is. And it's so for me, it's just I felt like I was doing soul sucking work before, and it was just so hard to balance spirituality and then what I was doing that felt so opposite of that. And I feel like I'm so lucky right now because I'm doing my heart work and I'm making money for it. And I get to still be here and podcast. And so there's a lot of good things happening right now. And sometimes with a big transition, it's hard on people. So that's maybe why I'm feeling a lot of big energies. I know when I start a new job, I get so nervous. Mainly just I'm so insecure that people are gonna think I'm not doing a good job, or I have that imposter syndrome where I shouldn't be here. I'm not good enough to be here. So that could be influencing it as well. But let's talk about what's going on in the stars right now, because that could also be influencing it. Um, so The moon was in Leo, which has good things, but for me, I find it affects me a bit harshly. It affects the ego a lot. So Leo rules the ego and that need for validation. And so that was something that I was struggling with. And I was, blaming outward when I should have been looking inward. So in that case, what I did is, a lot of shadow work, working on shadow work, looking at, okay, so when I want that validation or that external need, where is that coming from? Where in that inner child or the Akashic records, where is that coming from inside of me? And what's that little girl actually need? She doesn't next maybe she's back in the day needed validation that she wasn't getting, but I don't need that now. I can give that to myself. So a lot of shadow work is helpful. It's a lifelong process, of course. And there's always going to be ups and downs. Like I sometimes feel like I'm not going to have those moments anymore where that dark passenger comes in and sort of thinks that everyone's against her. But it's something that I always have to work on. Um, so the moon was in Leo, so that affected the ego and things like that. So if you were feeling sort of those energies, that's why. Now Saturn is entering Pisces. Saturn and Pisces are like polar opposites. They don't. Saturn does not like being in Pisces. Pisces is that mutable water, not very structured, very flowy, and Saturn is the father planet, so it wants you to be structured. It's putting that financial structure. It's they really don't get along, but there's good aspects to it. So Saturn entering Pisces means that we're maybe giving structure to our spiritual practice. Um, it's pressuring us to get structured in a way because it's in Pisces, those, really intuitive, spiritual, flowy energies are there, but maybe with the energy of Saturn sort of structuring us more, we won't get out of control. So it could be really good. Could also be a bit difficult depending, we all have free will, depending on how you sort of accept the energy and flow with it. It's all about flowing with the energies and trying not to fight against it or getting anxious about what's going on, just flowing with it. Um, but again, not easy. Um, okay, so then the moon is going to be in Virgo. So that sort of adds to that because Virgo is very structured as well, very detail oriented, earth sign, very grounded, noticing all the details. So that'll sort of add to the pressure. Um, and then the sun's in Gemini. So that actually forms a T square in the sky, which equals tension. So it's going to be some wild energies going on Saturday. Just bear with it. Just maybe don't do too many things, or don't put pressure on yourself to accomplish a bunch of things, but maybe do some flow work where you're working with your hands and just gardening. That's what I plan on doing this weekend, fixing up my backyard. Um, so yeah, just maybe, or, knitting or whatever, meditating, just chilling out, just doing something that's sort of like you're not, get rid of that pressure. Don't feel like you need to be pressured to accomplish anything. Just let the energy sort of flow by flowing yourself. Take a drink every time I say flow in this live. Um, and then on June 3rd, we have the full moon in Sagittarius, the strawberry moon. Um, and Sagittarius is the traveler, the mutable fire sign. So it's all about adventure, freedom, moving around, socializing, but also, reminding ourselves to stay grounded. So now I'll do a card pull, and I'll represent, like I said, each card with a crystal. So today I just chose some really humble crystals that I felt drawn to. That I sort of feel like I need right now. They're mostly grounding crystals. So I have selenite, hematite, red jasper, blue calcite, and a sunstone, Sagittarius sunstone. Or my dog is a Sagittarius, and he loves the sunstone the most, and it's funny 'cause it's a Sagittarius stone. He always licks it and sniffs it, so cute. Okay, so I've already pre-shuffled the cards, I've cleansed them with some incense here. So let's go ahead. So we'll start with the selenite. So I'm just asking the cards what we need to know for this upcoming full moon, for this Saturday with all the energies in a T square. It's going to be intense, going to cause tension. What do we need to know? What do we need to know today? Okay, cut the deck here. Ooh, tsunami, wake up call. Tsunami, okay, with the selenite and the tsunami. Let's see. Interesting. I've never pulled this card, guys. I'm excited. All right. Okay. One of the scariest and most destructive of natural phenomena, along with volcanoes, earthquakes, hurricanes, and tornadoes. A tsunami occurs when a large volume of water is suddenly and rapidly displaced. It's triggered by an undersea disturbance, typically an earthquake or volcanic eruption, that causes a series of powerful waves to travel across the ocean at speeds up to 500 miles per hour. Yet, on the open ocean, the height of these waves seems so small that they generally pass unnoticed. As these waves, collectively called a tsunami, get closer to the shoreline, their height increases enormously. Even as their speed slows to 15 miles per hour, the distance between the waves or the trough can be considerable, taking 20 to 30 minutes from wave to wave. If the trough hits the land first, the water recedes rapidly and dramatically, followed within minutes by an enormous wave that initially comes as a surge. This receding is a clear sign of an impending tsunami. We can't outrun the wave that follows, but we can avoid being swept up in the destruction by moving to higher ground. You are getting a wake up call. It may be in the form of a significant loss or other dramatic event in your life, typically one that you were not prepared for initially. You may feel stunned at first, surprised by the unexpected events that are occurring. Yet you also know that it is time to draw back the curtain of avoidance and denial and confront the truth that exists in the subtext of this event. You are experiencing a real life drama, so there is no need to amplify it more than it already is. That's interesting. Often, when you look back after something like this has passed, you can recall signs that foreshadowed it happening. There may have been obvious clues that you ignored or omens that were so subtle they were easy to dismiss as imagining of the mind rather than the voice of your instinct. There are many anecdotes about animals operating purely on instinct, picking up on clues and naturally seeking higher ground before an approaching tsunami reaches the land. To negotiate this wake up call, listen closely to your instincts while at the same time seeking the higher ground of spiritual truth. Wow. So something's happening. The energies are pushing us forward. I actually felt this yesterday. Like, I feel like the energies are just pushing us out of things that are no longer serving us. So, what better than a tsunami to represent that and a wake up call? And also, the signs are there. Like I said, I'm seeing numbers. The signs are there, guys. Um, they are they're there. Watch for them and be prepared. And it's not just I don't think this is I think this is the collective. We are getting pushed forward by like we have to stop looking backwards. We It might be difficult at first, like, what I'm going through with this change in my job, it's like I'm getting pushed forward into something that's working for me, but it's causing a lot of uncomfortable feelings. So just Ground ourselves and watch for the signs. Okay, pay attention. They're everywhere. Listen to your body, feel your energy, pay attention to what's going on in the stars, whatever works for you. Okay, next we're doing hematite, the grounding stone. One grounding stone. I have basically all grounding stones here today because I need it. The shaman card, ancient healing wisdom. Okay, so we have hematite, grounding, ancient healing wisdom. We have selenite and tsunami, wake up call, shaman. The deep, compassionate eyes of this Native American shaman portray the wisdom of one who has seen and who knows. He has witnessed visions, spirits, suffering, and joy, and knows that everything that exists has spirit's intentionality behind it. Able to travel beyond the veil of ordinary reality, the shaman's primary assignment is to discern and maintain the balance between what his human community takes from the natural world and what it gives back. When this relationship is out of balance, the shaman must do whatever is necessary to restore it. Balance equals healing. The shaman lives his life in ceremony and treats everything with reverence, including the great mystery of death and the even greater mystery of life. He works with his spirit helpers, including his ancestral spirits, to help him in his service to his people and to Earth Mother, providing a liaison between the spiritual and physical worlds. Charged with relieving suffering as one of his priorities, the shaman does so by first always tending to the spiritual wound. All illnesses, whether physical, emotional, or psychological, stem from an illness of spirit. It may be due to soul loss, psychic intrusions, ancestral karma, or any other spiritual causes that could be contributing to the manifest condition for which you seek help. Whatever methodologies or remedies you pursue, whether allopathic, alternative, or a combination, let the healing of your spirit be your priority. Know that the deepest spiritual wound is the illusion of being separate from Source, God, Great Spirit, or whatever name you give the Creator. It is the trick of the mind that creates this sense of separation. This is a time for deep healing, starting with your relationship with Spirit. Call upon your spirit guides and ancestors to help you with any emotional, mental, or physical healing that you need. Call upon the Creator to assist you in mending any rift in your relationship with Spirit. Choose thoughts that support wholeness and well being. Allow any darker thoughts or shadows to appear as well, but simply observe them as they arrive in consciousness, then dissolve. See yourself as healed, whole, and complete, and it shall be. Okay, guys, I'm feeling like I'm going to do one more card. All right. Ooh, look at that. Full moon completion. Well, that makes sense. And we have a full moon coming up. And I'm using red jasper, by the way. Okay. Another grounding stone. Full moon completion. Let's read. Every 29 and a half days, Grandmother Moon shines bright and full in the sky, illuminating the landscape in her muted brilliance, casting a delicate canopy over the sky and the physical features of Earth. Having gradually etched her way over the last few weeks to fullness, she now stands like a guiding beacon in the night. She has completed this round of her perpetual and periodic monthly journey and will now start her slow but steady retreat into shadow. In this card, we see the grandeur of the moon at its peak, blazing brightly and creating its silhouette. Sorry, guys, I lost my spot. Blazing brightly and creating a silhouette of a tree. This beautiful orb reminds us that all cycles have their time of completion and fulfillment, one that will inevitably be followed by a decrease until yet another cycle is initiated. You can now take pleasure in knowing that whatever you have been working toward has now reached its culmination. It may have been a relatively brief cycle or a much more extensive one, yet, regardless of the length of time, you have arrived at the stage of completion. Let yourself feel the contentment and satisfaction of this accomplishment. It is like when you take a deep breath and reach the point where your lungs are pleasantly full and your body is ready to release that breath. It is important to not only enjoy this completion, but also to let go and allow yourself to relax afterwards. Just like exhaling slowly and consciously, people are much too eager to rush to the next item on the agenda without giving proper time and space to appreciating and honoring the natural cycle of release that follows a point of resolution. Give yourself that time to relax and rest before tackling Spirit's next assignment. Oops. Sorry, guys, lost an earbud. Okay, so we have the tsunami, the shaman, and completion. So that means that the wake up call's coming. We got to heal ourselves, and then it's over. And then we can give ourselves a second to just let it end. Just enjoy the completion. Okay, guys, I hope you enjoyed that, and I'll see you next time.